Stay the out of my way.
Whether you know him under his old wrestling handle The Rock, as Dwayne Johnson, or simply as that super buff action movie dude who looks like he was chiseled out of pure gold, there's no denying that this A-lister is unbelievably famous.
Can you see me? Oh, believe me, we all can see you.
And what comes hand in hand with fame? You guessed it, fortune. By 2016, he had topped Forbes' list of the world's highest paid actors. He banked $64.5 million in that calendar year alone, and looks on track to challenge for top dog again this year. So, how does one of the world's most recognizable faces spend his wildly unnecessary $165 million fortune? Let's find out. Here are 15 ridiculously expensive things that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson owns. Coming in hot at number 15 on our list of expensive things this dude owns is something that the half-man, half-tree simply can't live without: his beloved gym. The Rock's reputation relies on him staying in tip-top shape, so spending a couple hours a day in the gym, getting more jacked than a grizzly bear, is his top priority. We guess that his second most important thing is practicing that dramatic single eyebrow raise in the mirror while wearing a XXL towel and bellowing out some old-school Avril Lavigne. But hey, who can be sure? At a cool $300,000, which is The Rock's equivalent of finding a penny under the sofa cushion, Dwayne Johnson's home gym is filled to the brim with the highest quality barbells, weights, and machines, all across a 4,000 square foot space. He dubs the gym, which is found in his Florida mansion, as the Iron Paradise, and it's not hard to see why. Number 14. While it might not be the most expensive of all Dwayne Johnson's purchases, our next item on the ticket certainly falls in the realm of ridiculous. Per year, our beloved tree man has declared that he eats an estimated 800 pounds of fish, cod to be exact. When your goal is to be bulging with muscles left, right, and center, and look like a Pokemon evolution of Vin Diesel, then you need to have a protein-focused diet. While the actor admitted that he actually hates the stuff, it's recognized as a lean source of protein with very low fat levels, which is exactly what The Rock needs to maintain his godly figure. It's also exactly why he is constantly purchasing it by the bucketful. Pacific cod usually sells for around $1.75 per pound, meaning that, all up, Johnson spends about $1,400 per year on cod. That's a very large amount of fish for one human. Number 13. Sliding in next on our list of eccentric, sometimes facepalm-worthy list of Dwayne Johnson's purchases is his beloved monster truck-like Ford F-150 pickup, just one of the many elite cars in the superstar's garage. Prices for this beast usually start at around $50,000 for the most basic stock model, which on its own isn't too out of this world, especially when your wallet is bursting at the seams like Dwayne's is. But with a long list of custom modifications, including a boosted suspension and tinted windows, this F-150's price tag rockets up to around the six-figure mark. But seriously, what's the point of driving around in a sweet ride like this if you're the only one doing so? Well, problem solved. The superstar actually gave another F-150 to one of his homies, cousin and longtime stunt double Tenoy Reed, in a truly heartwarming moment. Number 12. From the beastly F-150, we're taking a 180-degree turn for the next item on Dwayne Johnson's long list of hella expensive items that he owns. When this mountain of a man was working on the HBO TV show Ballers, he was raking in close to $650,000 an episode. By that math, it took him exactly 2 episodes to be able to afford this outrageously eye-catching $1.3 million Pagani Huayra supercar. There were only 100 of these bad boys ever made, and we can bet that of those 100 owners, there aren't many that can beat DJ's 20-inch biceps and 31-inch tree trunk thighs. The Rock has even admitted himself that even the car is impressive as all hell, and it ought to be at that insane price tag, it's clearly not built for a man-mountain like himself. Simply put, it's like trying to jam your hand into a Pringles tube. He just doesn't really fit. The supercar races from 0 to 60 in just 2.9 seconds, which is about the same amount of time it takes an obsessed fangirl to scream and cry with happiness when The Rock walks past. We're moving away from the ground and into the sky for Johnson's next ridiculous purchase, a Gulfstream G60 private jet. Known widely as the fastest private jet in the world, this plane perfectly matches his go-go-go lifestyle. The Gulfstream G650 is worth around $65 million. That's about 4,600 years worth of cod if you're keeping track. The Instagram photos of The Rock outside his ride are almost as iconic as he is. But as much as we love seeing him flashing his cast in private jets, there would be no greater gifts to the world than the sight of The Rock stuck in the economy class middle seat. Number 10. When The Rock isn't traveling around at 37,000 feet, eating a truckload of flaky fish, or arriving at premieres in cars that make him look like the Iron Giant, he's hanging out at home, just like you and me. Johnson forked out top dollar for a fancy house in Southwest Ranches in Broward County, Florida, handing over a check for $5.5 million. The mansion comes equipped with a 2.5-acre backyard, 5 bedrooms, and a garage big enough to fit 6 cars, each more expensive than most of our entire existences. And it's all spread across a 13,000 square foot interior. Don't forget the space for the gym and the lake where he catches his own cod. Okay, that one's a little bit of a stretch, but it wouldn't be that much of a shock, would it? Sliding into number 9 is the epitome of upper-class living, a Rolex. Sitting in between the people's elbow and a hand bigger than your face is a stylish $35,000 watch. It's one of 2 Rolex watches that DJ owns, with the other worth a measly $14,000 in comparison. On days where he wakes up on the wrong side of his Egyptian cotton-lined bed and wants to sport some wrist apparel that's a little different to his usual in-your-face Rolex game, he also has a subtle $12,000 Panerai Luminor timepiece. Not only has Johnson gifted an F-150 to his stunt double, but he has clearly been trying his best to impersonate Oprah. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car! In fact, in 2018, GQ magazine ran an entire article on Dwayne's, quote, bad habit of surprising his friends with new cars, end quote. The Hollywood superstar purchased a brand new Cadillac only to immediately give it as a gift to his dad. And if that wasn't enough, the former wrestler also purchased another car which he immediately gave to his uncle as a way to say thank you for supporting him all those years ago when he was picked up by the WWF. Number 7. For every car that he's selflessly given away, The Rock has kept one for himself. Even though he clearly struggles to fit a supersized frame through the door, he does have claims to an incredibly expensive LaFerrari. It's a hybrid hypercar that reaches 950 horsepower. If you don't know that much about cars, just know that 950 is an absolute crap ton of horsepower that no man, no matter how famous, rugged, or rich, really needs. It sells for between $2.1 million and $3.9 million, and while The Rock did own it, he eventually gave it up when he realized he just couldn't fit. Number 6. With his bespoke suits, fast cars, and glamorous lifestyle, it's a bit of a WTF moment to find out that DJ is the proud owner of a farm just outside of Charlottesville, Virginia. That's the biggest, brownest, baldest cowboy we've ever heard of, that's for sure. The Hollywood star has been quoted saying that his horses love when I step in the gifts they leave me daily, and we all know what gifts he's referring to. Number 5. The Rock always needs to look the part. His collection of suits is as broad as his chest, and that's saying something, since he actually went to the trouble of getting liposuction to decrease his chest width. Obviously, no manufacturer on Earth would create a line of 3-piece suits for anyone whose physical presence resembles that of Hagrid on Andre the Giant, so The Rock has to fork out bucket loads of extra cash to get them all custom fitted. Even then, we feel like there's an explosive Bruce Banner becomes the Hulk moment around every corner for Dwayne Johnson, and it would be criminal for a bicep flex to tear such an expensive suit. Number 4. We're throwing out the suits for this next ridiculous expense and lacing up the workout shoes yet again. Yes, Dwayne does own a $300,000 home gym, and yes, he bloody well uses it, but what about when he's on the road or on set? It's simple really, he just brings the gym with him. That's right, sliding into number 4 on our list is DJ's portable gym. While you and I struggle to walk up a flight of stairs without falling short of breath, Dwayne Johnson literally brings an entire gym with him pretty much everywhere he goes. That's in addition to the $300K he's already forked out at home and the thousands of dollars he spends annually on regular gym memberships. Number 3. All of this workout talk is making us seriously dizzy, so let's move back to something a little more relatable for us regular non-jack folks. Driving. Another one of the impressive additions to The Rock's car collection is his Hennessy Velociraptor V8. He actually was given it as a gift from HBO, as a way of them saying thank you for his hard work as one of the starring roles in Ballers. Just because he got it for free, it doesn't take anything away from its $150,000 value. The roaring Coyote V8 packed under the hood seems only fitting for the man who featured in plenty of high-octane Fast and Furious movies. If you thought that was the last of The Rock's ridiculously expensive four-wheelers, you thought wrong. There's a pretty fancy British car sitting in his garage as well, which you might have heard of. Just a run-of-the-mill Rolls-Royce Wraith. You know, nothing too special. Seriously though, this car has style, class, and sophistication written all over it, and comes across as a bit of a bargain at only £258,000. Despite its focus on luxury, Johnson's Wraith is no stranger to power either, boasting a roaring V12 6.5-liter engine. Number 1. Rounding out the countdown of expensive things our favorite shiny head ex-wrestler owns is something that he is, without a doubt, the most proud of. His production company is $7 Productions. The name holds a significant amount of meaning for Dwayne, since it represents the time that he only had a measly $7 in his pocket after being cut from the Calgary football team and returning to Florida empty-handed. It is both ridiculous and impressive that after scraping the bottom of the barrel, The Rock has been able to build his production company into an empire that creates original content for television, film, emerging technologies, and digital networks. These days, $7 Productions is worth a fudge load more than $7. That's all for 15 ridiculously expensive things purchased by Dwayne Johnson. Would you ever spend that kind of money on COD? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to The Richest, and join our notification squad. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.